We'd come home from school and, just feed calves or possibly help finish up milking in the dairy. Sometimes there'd be, a bit of tractor work to do if that was what was going on at the time. We used to shift the irrigation a lot after school. Wasn't a lot of homework got done, I can tell you. It was always up at the dairy, and then, the weekends were just around the farm, milking, just doing the odd jobs, following the parents around. I was too young, I suppose, during what you'd call the good times to really recognise it, but from about 2011 you could basically say it's been a living hell, just constant struggles with the milk pricing, with droughts. We've had issues of low production and quality issues that have linked back to animal health issues that just have been really, really difficult to resolve and get answers for. It has inspired me to keep going, to kind of know that there is a better future, and if you keep giving up isn't the answer, that's not going to get you anywhere. But I suppose it's also about that advocacy, telling people what it is that you do and what you struggle with, and educating just, someone that you meet down the street about the price of milk and how you have no control over it, or what the drought actually means for a farmer, whether they be a dairy farmer or a sheep farmer or whatever they've got. Started a Bachelor of Ag Science through CSU just by distance, because I didn't want to leave the farm to go and study on campus, so distance kind of works for me. The future's rapidly changing, and if you don't keep up with it, you do fall behind, and I just think with that extra knowledge behind me, that's power for the future to get the farm running right, and how everything along the cycle, whether it be the microbes in the cow's gut, to the production efficiency, to the price that you pay for certain inputs and then what you get paid for your outputs, how every little thing along that chain has an interaction, and you've just got to have that balance. It's really highlighted that through me, through studying botany to microbiology to precision ag, you see how it all overlaps and interacts with each other, and then how you can kind of apply those interactions on farm. They've worked really hard to get this place going, and they've been dealt a lot of blows, and we had a fence that had been knocked down that were always going to be put back up, and I knew it really annoyed Dad and my uncle and everyone else to not have a nice fence to drive in because it's on the main drive. So I thought if we could just get that fence put up, that'd be a blessing. And then I believe the Rural Financial Counsellor we saw also put in an application for us that was a bit more extensive, because he figured that there was more than fencing that could be done. As soon as the volunteers arrived, she found a bloke that could weld, and she basically marched him into the dairy and just asked him if he could weld up the rails. Every time she puts the cups on the cows, this rail's broken, and it's a bit of a hazard for her, and it made dealing with the cows on the dairy a lot harder. That was the first job of the rank for Mum, and she stood there and she loved getting that done. And she has milked the cows since then, and we haven't heard one complaint. It's she's over the moon. They get up, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we don't really get home except for, dropping in for a quick breakfast and a quick lunch until, 7 o'clock at night. And by the time you get home at 7 o'clock at night, there's not a lot left in you to, do a lot of housework or fix things up. You walk in there now to them over there doing the work on the house, and it's an absolute madhouse. People and things everywhere. But it's a different type of madhouse. It's a functioning madhouse that actually resembles a house. It was hard for them to accept the help. They didn't think they were deserving of it, and that's something we all struggle with, and we're still in this state of shock as well. But yeah, it was a blessing rather than, an issue for us to have people going for our house. I'd never been really shopping in a furniture shop before, and like picking out a new quilt cover and telling me, what would match this and what would match that, and I was like, I'd had the same doona for years, and it was just, this old cover that I didn't pick. I think I got it for Christmas one year. Nothing matched in my room. So, it's gonna be a friggin' shock to walk in and be like, whoa, this is colour coordinated. It's like on the block, they do the houses and they're all interior design focused, and you hear the judges saying this doesn't work with that. Well, bring the block judges and ask them what they think of my furniture choices. Better than the old one, but anyway. No, it's not just about the money. The money helps. Money always helps, but I think it's also about making people aware, like publicly aware that farmers are struggling and that they can do more on a day-to-day basis to support farmers. And it doesn't have to be, coming and doing a mega farm rescue. It can just be thinking about the food they buy at the supermarket and looking for things that are grown from Australian farmers. Like, it's as simple as that. I think it's a lot of publicity about the drought is a good thing, and the money's certainly been a big issue, and it probably will be for a long time, about getting that right, because it's very hard for a farmer to accept help, and particularly money. They don't want handouts. We're not into that, and I think deep down it's a lot more, whether it be, all these people rocking up to my house being like, I'm gonna turn it upside down, to just having a yarn to a farmer and asking them how they're going. Like, that's more important than the money to me.
If you know someone who could use a hand up, please contact Rural Aid and register for assistance, or simply volunteer. A day, a week, our farmers need you.